Baker, swim dodge, fires and scores! Skipping a step, behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good.
Thank you for joining us on Long Island at Cold Spring Harbor High School for this pivotal matchup after heart-stopping wins over perennial powers Garden City and Manhasset. The nationally ranked Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks can clinch the Conference CD crown with a win today. Standing in their way are the young and hungry Southside Cyclones, looking to play spoiler and in the process earn their first win over the Seahawks in a decade. It's Cold Spring Harbor Southside right now on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I'm Gavin Shull, joined by St. Dominic head coach Tom Rooney, also a four-time Catholic League state champ. I don't want to sell you short, Tom. A lot on the line tonight for two of the best teams in Nassau County.
Yeah, there really are. These are two really good teams, and there's actually a conference title on the line in some aspects. Cold Spring Harbor, a D school, but plays in CD. So this has implications and more. It's just two really good teams that are going to get after each other. It's going to be a great game.
And a crucial game for Southside as well, as they're right in the mix in the conference standing. Southside got off to a 6-0 start this year. Have slowed down a little bit. A younger team with 28 sophomores on the roster, but they played their tails off and they're right in the mix.
Yes, Southside has a lot of new guys on offense. They play really, really hard, but they make some mistakes, and this is going to happen with a young team. You're going to stumble at some point, but I would not be surprised to see Southside get back on track tonight and play really well.
And they're led, of course, by Brady West, the one veteran in the rotation. Just a monster season, 26 goals, 12 assists. That's despite seeing double teams game in and game out. What makes him special as an offensive player?
So Brady's a big, strong kid. He's two-handed. And quite frankly, he's dynamic. He's got a multiple releases, high, low, and he uses that physicality to get to the cage and get his teammates involved.
His head coach, Tom DiPietro, calls him one of the best players on Long Island. He draws double teams every game and can dominate a game without scoring the ball just because of the intention. He creates so many opportunities for his teammates. And then, of course, for Cold Spring Harbor, the man that's going to be tracking him for this game is a heck of a talent in his own right. The senior defender, Patrick Pisano, on the season, 7 points, 41 ground balls, 34 checks, 21 takeaways. But it's not about the stats with Pisano. The Yale commit is just flat out one of the more dominant one-on-one defenders you will see.
He is simply one of the best defenders that we've seen probably in the last 25 years here in probably all of Long Island. His stats probably could be better. A lot of guys just simply won't take them. When they catch the ball, they'll move it along. Tonight, however, I think we're going to get Brady West going downhill right at Patrick Pisano, and that's what I want to see. Two great players. Pisano is excellent, so West is going to really have to work hard. This is a great matchup between two great players.
And it'll affect the rest of the Southside offense because they're so used to West drawing those double teams. Pisano, the rare defender who can handle that matchup one-on-one. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Cyclones. Again, it's a new group on attack, all new starters with Owen West, Michael Aiello, Ryan Meyerhofer, and then, of course, Michael Melkonian on the faceoff. And Michael Melkonian, just as much as Brady West is a pivotal player in this game, 73% on the year on faceoffs for the sophomore. And I imagine, Tom, that's so essential when you have three new starters on attack to give that group some confidence.
Yeah, Michael's ability to get the ball for this young offense and give them multiple chances on offense has been really key. He's been excellent. But he goes up tonight against a seasoned veteran in Max Hawkinson, so this should be a good test for Melkonian.
Well, it will certainly be a great matchup. The rest of the lineup for Southside, Cole DiPietro, coach's son, Jack Meyerhofer, twin brother of Ryan. They're a dynamic duo, of course, Brady West. And then on defense, Patrick Erickson, Ryan Castle, Logan Kelly, and then Tommy Gentile, the name to know in the net. The BU commit has been fantastic this year and has certainly kept Southside, especially when they were finding their stride earlier in the season as a younger group in some games.
Tommy is excellent. I got a chance to watch him last week against Bethpage. He's got great hands, great instincts, and he outlets the ball really well. Southside made a few mistakes early with their youth and had some numbers coming at him, and Tommy bailed him out, and that's why he's a big-time D1 recruit.
And then we'll get into the starting lineup next for Cold Spring Harbor, and this Seahawks offense, all about balance, Tom. 5 different players with at least 20 points, and they're led by that front line on attack of Luke Jaraputo, Jake Rogers, and Hayden Calabretta.
Yeah, these guys really play well together. You know, when I spoke with Coach Bond earlier today, I said to him, I feel like they really understand who they are, and they don't really force the issue. They let the game come to them. I think they're all very talented, and they're very smart about when to go, and they play off each other very well.
He was noting that, look, he was comparing this group to his 2017 team that went undefeated and saying the third guy on that attack group had 60 points by the end of the year. We have one guy with over 30. It's more about the unit and their ability to understand pace and timing, when to go, when not to go. That attack group so crucial in big wins over Garden City and Manhasset. Then in the midfield, C.J. Riley, Ryan Spielberg, Caden O'Connor, flanking Max Hawkinson. You noted on Hawkinson, the guy is a killer competitor, was 74% a year ago on faceoffs. This year down to 52% because he's also playing offense, a little bit more responsibility, but he's held his own in some really big matchups this year. Yeah,
Max is, I would describe him as a scrapper. He is as tough as they come, and he's staying on the field. He plays offense, he plays defense. He gives this team emotional lifts with the way he plays. He's an extremely tough kid. I love the way he plays.
And then defensively, Jesse Phelan in any other program pretty much in the country would be the name, would be a dominant defender, Dartmouth commit, all-county performer, all-American candidate, but because of Pisano, doesn't get talked about as much, but is just a fantastic defender in his own right.
Yeah, Jesse's great. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Jesse Phelan is a great defenseman, and you're right. The fact that he has Patrick Pisano, maybe he's a little in the shadows, but I don't think the Southside guys are going to feel that way. He's a big lefty, and he brings it.
I have Kyle O'Grady, a first-year starter, and then Spencer Will in goal, who will look to match Tommy Gentile. Will, a guy who seemingly brought his best in the biggest games, double-digit saves against Garden City and Manhasset.
Yeah, he's really, really good, and you're right. I think he gets really dialed in on these big games, and, this is the kind of atmosphere I expect that he'll be dialed in. Under the lights here at night and 2 good teams, Spencer Will be ready to go.
Conference title on the line for Cold Spring Harbor. Southside looking for their first win over the Seahawks in a decade. We'll have it next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
About to get underway here at Cold Spring Harbor High School. The Seahawks, we mentioned, 12-1 on the season, the 13th ranked team in the country according to USA Lacrosse. Dennis Bond, in his 23rd year, obviously has had a lot of special teams. He's won 4 state titles. He's won 10 county titles. Tom, what do you think makes this group of Seahawks kind of unique in that pantheon?
I think Dennis gets these guys to play really, really hard. They're probably not as talented as that three-peat state team and even the 06 state title team, but these guys play really, really hard. They're obviously great on defense, and he has them primed for another run.
And then Southside, conversely, one of those teams that's always in the mix, right? They seem to make the Final Four every year, and so many programs at this level, they run into a Garden City, they run into Manhasset, can't quite get past them. A season ago, they gave Garden City probably the Trojans' toughest challenge on their way to a Long Island championship. That was a 6-5 game. And the year before that, Steve DiPietro noting that 2020, like so many teams, he said that was probably going to be our best group since at least 2008. They lost 17 seniors off that team. Still had a good enough team, again, to arguably be the second best team to Garden City in their conference a year ago. Graduated TJ Sheehan, John Considine, Matt Melconian, Thomas Kelly. They come back, younger group, start off 6-0, exceed all expectations, and now have a chance to get a signature win against Cold Spring Harbor.
Absolutely.
So it's Matt Melconian against Max Hawkinson to start off the night. Hawkinson able to battle well, and a running pickup by Patrick Pisano. Tic-tac-toe passing, and a lightning-quick goal for Cold Spring Harbor. Hayden Calabretta starts off the night for the Seahawks.
And it all starts with Hawkinson scrapping it out. Melconian looks like he was going to come up clean, and then here comes Pisano, and this is why he's an All-American. Hits the point. Nice job by Cold Spring Harbor. Great finish by Calabretta. Not much you can do there. That's a great start for Cold Spring Harbor.
And Southside, you come in, you're trying to pull the upset. What does that do to you psychologically to give up a goal 9 seconds in?
Yeah, that's not easy because you're figuring you're going to win more faceoffs, and that's a good job by Melconian. Listen, you're gonna give up goals. You hate to do it in 9 seconds. Look at Phelan.
Yeah, harassing Owen West, Brady's younger brother, off to a fantastic start to his sophomore season. 17 points, 12 goals, 5 assists this year.
This young Southside group is going to be tested. You saw Phelan out on the 45 chasing. These guys are going to get pushed out on. They're going to have to keep their composure and play lacrosse here.
It's the Cyclone side that knocked some really big wins early this season, knocked off Syosset, beat Massapequa. That win continues to look better and better and better as the season has gone along. Came back from 3 goals down in that game. Came back from a big deficit to beat Wantagh in overtime. They're just made of very tough stuff for a team that, again, is predominantly underclassmen. Cold Spring Harbor, though, perhaps their toughest challenge yet.
Yeah, this is a young group now that let's see what they're made of. I like what they're doing right here. They get the party started with DiPietro, and there's a good matchup.
And there's a good pace to their offense so far, and it's a big emphasis against Cold Spring Harbor. Ball control, but the ability to take quality shots when they're there, just because against his defense you don't get a lot of good looks.
Right. This is what we talk about when we say have good composure. 4 or 5 good passes. Nice save by Will.
Jack Meyerhofer on the shot, and the break the other way, led by Phelan.
They got numbers. They want it.
Phelan going cross field to Hawkinson. Now a loose ball is taken in traffic by Michael Melkonian, who beats the ride.
Nice job by Southside getting in on the substitution. It looked like they had numbers. Hawkinson tried to go back to Phelan, and Southside broke it up.
And excuse me, it was actually Dan Capitelli, the Catholic University commit for Southside, on that clearance. Really nice job by him.
Yeah, he's a good player. I like the way he plays. He plays with a good speed, a good motor.
Southside, just about everything they do offensively typically revolves around Brady West, his ability to draw slides and dump. We'll see if he can do that against Jesse Phelan today.
Yeah, so it looks like Cold Spring Harbor is going to rotate Phelan, and Pisano on Brady West. Probably a good move. Keep the fresh guy on. It's good defense by McGloin there at Cold Spring Harbor. Southside's got to find the matchup.
Going to work now is Billy Moore, and backed up well by Ryan Meyerhofer. Southside, similar to Cold Spring Harbor, where outside of West there isn't really one dominant player. Michael Aiello with 25 points, Ryan Meyerhofer with 23. We mentioned Owen West with 17 on the season. A lot of balance.
Yeah, and I think you have Aiello coming here.
Oh, and he poses a lot of speed, but Owen West will have to back him up.
Yeah, this is like an early boxing match, feeling each other out a little bit. Southside's trying to figure out where's the matchup that they're going to attack. And that was a good take by Aiello, just bounced it over the cage.
And that's been the brilliance of Cold Spring Harbor this year. There isn't necessarily a matchup you like. It's just which matchup you hate the least.
That's it.
Owen West, inside roll, now back out. Shut down by Phelan. Good patience from Southside. Mindel will fire and will be denied by Will.
Yeah, that was good defense. It was, good shot, but Will's gonna handle most of those shots from 14 yards.
And this is where Will is really dangerous. As good, at least, as any goalie I've seen this year on clearance. Really accurate, great vision, and willing to walk it up a little bit like that.
Yeah, that's a really good job. No panic. And that's why it's nice having a senior goalie going Amherst. Really good composure. And that's also coaching. They got a great staff at Cold Spring Harbor. They gave him a little bit of a different look in the ride, and they reacted well.
Will, a longtime starter in this program. His brother, Tyler, a Division III All-American at Colby. And Tyler gets all the credit, according to Dennis Bond, for turning Spencer Will into the player he is today. He said, we don't really have a goalie coach. We'll talk to him, but we basically leave him alone, and we never imagined he could be as good as he is today, but we're thrilled with the results in terms of his development.
Yeah, whatever they did, keep doing it, because he's playing well.
Ryan Spielberger putting on some speed, deterred on his initial run to the cage.
Cold Spring Harbor is a very, very patient offense. They have no problem spinning the ball around and finding the right matchup, and just mishandled there.
And a good scoop by Logan Kelly to kick off the clearance for Southside. Now it's Luke Schwartzberger turning it over in midfield. Cold Spring Harbor back the other way with numbers, but Luke Geraputo will pull it out, and now the shot put on by Pisano off the mark. Pisano, he's certainly not shy when he gets the ball.
No, he picked off the pass and then came down and dodged like he was a short stick. He is. You almost feel like he's everywhere.
I love the quote from Dennis Bond on him is that he's ornery. He plays angry, and you can see it, and it's not great for guys going against him.
Yeah, I mean, the great defenders always have that edge, and he has it. He takes it personally when you try to take him to the cage, and he's dangerous in the open field, as you just saw.
7 points, 4 goals, 3 assists for him on the season. As Hawkinson will push it back out to Geraputo. Geraputo dangerous from the wing, and good positioning from Hayden Calabretta to ensure the Seahawks maintain possession.
Yeah, that was a nice little invert by Hawkinson. They like to bring him back there with a short stick. It's a good shot, and it's a good miss. They back it up, and now they can get into a little set play. Looks like they're going double pick.
Jake Rogers a little high on the pass, and it'll be Southside possession. So a couple of sloppy passes for Cold Spring Harbor, but then immediately a turnover right back from Owen West.
And they got numbers. They got a 4-on-3 if they want it.
Sprinting in, Ryan Spielberger at his shot block. Spielberger trying to save the ball, cannot. So it will be Southside ball after all.
Yeah, Cold Spring Harbor wanted a shot. Let's see if they're going to get it. May get overruled here.
It did look like that was the intention, and then the ball was checked out. But it looks like it will be Southside ball.
Yeah, they're going to stand with the call. Immediately, Southside got the ball, and Phelan took it right back. Southside's going to have to figure out how to run by Phelan and Pisano in the middle of the field. It's 2 plays in a row. They took the ball away.
Now Ryan Castle fumbles it. Both teams still finding their footing after that quick goal from Cold Spring Harbor. Castle getting a little ahead of his skis. Chipped down. And a timeout, I believe, taken by Southside there. Steve DiPietro wanting to talk, seeing Ryan Castle in some trouble. We will step aside as well. A 1-0 lead for Cold Spring Harbor after a quick goal on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Hayden Calabretta put Cold Spring Harbor on the board 9 seconds into this game. Since then, Tom Rooney, it feels as if both teams are still kind of trying to find their footing.
Yeah, we've had a number of throwaways and then a number of takeaways. They're feeling each other out a little bit. That was a great timeout by Southside. They were about to get pushed out of bounds. The clearing has been a little bit of an issue. So it's a good timeout. You get a possession here. And my guess is, they're going to try to draw up something, maybe get Brady West a pick, try to get Pisano or Phelan off him, and see if he can get a switch and get a short stick. And it looks like Pisano's out there, trying to figure out, where West is going to line up. So they're going to start the ball with DiPietro, but eventually it will spin, and West is going to have to get it go.
And what have you seen from Southside offensively so far?
I like the possessions they've had. They were patient. They got a couple, decent shots. Spencer Wills up to it. I think they're going to have to try to get a little bit, closer to the net, close that gap a little bit. They're going to have to try to make Cold Spring Harbor slide. They're not really doing that right now. So let's see.
Jack Mayerhofer showing off some good speed on that initial run. Michael Aiello forced out. That's where Cold Spring Harbor really stands out defensively. A lot of times you're going the wrong direction, as that bouncer was a tough look for Cole DiPietro. We'll stay with Southside.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good take. It's a good shot. It doesn't get saved. But, again, it's from the outside. It looked like Spencer Will was all over it.
And now Brady West dispossessed. Pisano leading the break. Thinking of firing, now will send it back. Rapid fire ball movement for the Seahawks as Calabretta will reset it.
Yeah, Southside was trying to set up the pick, and Pisano just jumped west. I think he surprised them a little bit. You can't really let your guard down around Patrick Pisano.
Dennis Bond said on Pisano, as good as any player I've ever coached, went on to clarify that is not just defensemen, that is anyone. And Dennis Bond has had some legends over his 23 years at Cold Spring Harbor, so that is really, really saying something.
Yeah, I mean, Pisano is such a competitor. I mean, every possession, it seems, like we said, he takes it personally that these guys are even thinking about dodging him. He's tremendous.
One of the guys who could potentially fill his shoes a season from now, Alex Bauer, the freshman on the field, number 17 in white. He was trusted with locking up Joey Terenzi on Manhasset for parts of that game. They're really, really high on him.
Yeah, he's a good young player. They got their second middies in.
And there's a bullet of a shot. Luke Geraputo from way outside, a stinger, and it's 2-0 Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, I mean, you see this. This is a really nice job by Cold Spring Harbor. Great balance on the field. And Giraputo just slides into an open space, uses the defender as a screen, and that's tough to pick up for the goalie. You know, that defender is right in the goalie's way. You don't see that ball until it's basically right on top of you.
It was almost like they didn't think Giraputo would shoot from that far out, but he did so with ease, has done so all year. His 17th goal in the season, and it's Cold Spring Harbor up by 2 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, there's Phelan on the wing. And now Southside's going to try to press out a little bit.
Trying to return the favor in terms of pressuring the long poles, and it'll draw the same result from Cold Spring Harbor. A timeout for Dennis Bond. His Seahawks lead it by 2 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Back at Cold Spring Harbor High School, where the Seahawks lead the Cyclones 2-0. And if you're enjoying this experience and you want to bring your game to life, well, you can now with Varsity Media Sportscast. As you can hear, we feature announcers, instant replay, multiple camera angles, graphics. It's great for rivalry games, for senior days, and general promotion of your team. So to contact us to book a sportscast, you can call or text at 516-403-2050 or visit varsitymedia.net.
Yeah, this Varsity Media has been awesome for the lacrosse community. I can tell you right now, there's, hundreds and hundreds of lacrosse players across the island who either finish practice or finish their game and are tuned in to Varsity Media, and they're watching. These kids love watching, their rivals or their friends or whatever it is, and Varsity Media gives them that opportunity. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and we'll hear after games all the time, parents that are excited to go home from the game and say, all right, we're going to go home and turn it on and check it out, depending on what the result is.
Yeah.
Cold Spring Harbor, they're hoping that they'll be excited to watch after this one, an early 2-0 lead as the Cyclones look to figure things out defensively. It's been spurts of really good play from Southside. Again, it was just sort of an avalanche in that first 10 seconds on that initial goal from Cold Spring Harbor, and then that one, it was almost as if they didn't think Luke Giraputo had that kind of range, and he proved it differently.
Yeah, and right out of the timeout here, Southside is going zone, giving them a different look. I like this. Cold Spring Harbor probably drew something up from man, so now they got to figure it out on the field. It's a basic 3-3 zone, but it's going to slow them down a little bit.
The Seahawks offense has done a good job problem solving all year. Sometimes playing fast. When they played the Garden Cities and Manhassets of the world, have slowed down, have been a little bit more patient. They've acclimated to different styles, different types of defenses, having to play a couple of upstate teams in Yorktown and Rye. Another challenge now presented by Southside.
Yeah, I think the zone, it threw them for a loop here a little bit, but what you're going to see is they're going to try to dodge, get the shape to change a little bit, and find an open step-down shooter. At some point, they'll probably put somebody inside. There's Giraputo just off his stick.
That feels like a crucial stop for Southside as we get to the final 2 minutes of this first quarter. The Cyclones looking to make it a one-goal game.
Yeah, Southside got exactly what they wanted. They changed the defense. They got a turnover, and now they get the ball back. They got to settle in a little bit here on offense.
We haven't seen much of Brady West in the early going. Number 22 in red.
Looks like they're going to go with the second middies here. Probably give West the chance to catch his breath a little bit.
It's currently Andrew Mindel on the ball. 4 goals, 5 assists for him on the season. As he tries a burst of speed to beat Ryan Spielberger. ALO pings it around. Chris Vanko. Now a touch for Billy Moore.
I think you're going to see Southside be very, very patient here. And just like that, they take a shot.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
That was from Chris Vanko, stopped by Spencer Will. Cold Spring Harbor, 45 seconds, attack on one more goal.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad shot. It looked like he got deflected along the way, but now Cold Spring Harbor can roll out their top midi. Here comes C.J. Riley out of the box. And, they got Caden Hawkinson, and that's a good shot.
Hawkinson was thinking of the pass, knew he was backed up, decided to fire. Final 20 seconds of this opening quarter. The Seahawks looking to further separate. Riley puts on a move and loses control of the ball.
Nice check by Schwartzberg there. That was really the first time we saw Riley dodge, and he did a nice job trailing and getting a check.
Seahawks trying to defend. Meyerhofer working quick. Aiello just has to fire from deep. Not close, and that's it for quarter number 1. Cold Spring Harbor up by 2 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Back to it on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Got a good one here. Cold Spring Harbor against Southside. Seahawks lead it by 2. But it's a loaded night in general, Tom. Earlier on the Varsity Media Sports Network, we saw Mount Sinai knock off Shore and Wading River 12-7 in the Battle of Undefeateds. Manhasset, that game's also live on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A 4-1 lead for the Indians over Chaminade, and then a 4-1 lead for Chaminade over Manhasset, and then Massapequa Syosset later this week, and then, of course, the big one on the Catholic side of things. You got to see St. Anthony's tonight. They'll take on Chaminade. I think I know your answer, and I don't want to get you in trouble with this, but who's the best team you've seen on the island so far this year?
Listen, I saw Mount Sinai play. I think they're excellent. I think Manhasset's excellent. I think St. Anthony's, obviously, I just watched them. They're excellent. A lot of good teams on Long Island. Great lineup for Varsity Media.
That was the right answer. The coach. There's a whole lot of talent. And hey, I mean, Cold Spring Harbor, maybe not the top end talent to some of those teams, but after beating Garden City and Manhasset, they have an argument in their own right.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a really good team we're watching here, and Southside. Listen, this staff is not going to let them go away, quietly. They're going to fight really, really hard. It's only 2-0. They'll figure it out. I would stay away from Pisano. That's my takeaway from the first quarter. He's really, really good, and he's taking it personally right now.
It's been the story of Southside season. I mean, with those early upsets, if you want to call them upsets over Syosset and Massapequa, and then even in games where they've gotten down against Manhasset, that one looked like it was going to be a blowout early. They shut down Manhasset in the third quarter. Ended up making it a 13-8 game at one point, and it's a younger group, but it's a group that fights and just finds a way to stick in games, even against, again, some of the best teams in America.
Yeah, this is the matchup. That's a pretty good job by West. Now we're going to see if DePietro can get this offense moving.
DePietro, quick move, shot from way out, saved easily by Spencer Will.
Yeah, it's a good move. You'd like to see him take another step or two. That's a great handle by McGloin. He's going to get a push.
And as a coach, how do you maintain that patience? I mean, you were giving Southside a lot of credit for that, but when you have this defense, especially one that's so aggressive and you're thinking, I want to stay away from Phelan, I want to stay away from Pisano, how do you tell your guys, hey, just keep moving the ball?
Well, you remember they're starting basically a whole new attack. They're starting, DiPietro's a sophomore. They got a lot of young guys, so you just want to stay positive. if you can get any kind of offense going against this defense, that's going to carry you the rest of the way.
Coming off a game earlier this week where they struggled offensively, a 7-5 loss to Seaford. Another one of those games where Michael Melkonian, absolutely dominated on faceoff, but they just weren't able to convert it. So they're looking to continue to be more efficient in terms of paying off those opportunities.
Yeah, they got some growing pains, and this is really our first look at C.J. Riley. He's a big, strong midi headed to Michigan. That's a good matchup with him and Schwartzberg.
Slightly off the mark on the shot was Riley. Riley also the starting quarterback on the football team. Got to see a lot of him on the Varsity Media Sports Network back in the fall.
Yeah, he's a really good athlete, multi-sport athlete.
Now Jaraputo turns looking for the bouncer. Feels like all the Cold Spring Harbor guys love that shot. We saw Jake Rogers put off 2 or 3 different times against Manhasset to great effect.
Yeah, that's obviously something they work on in practice. Very well schooled by this staff. And, you get the feeling right now that this is kind of a big spot in the game for Southside. They got to figure out a way to get a stop and get the ball back and get some offense going.
Spielberger going to work. Now Rogers, who's been pretty quiet so far, will show some patience.
Yeah, Cold Spring Harbor loves to bring Hawkinson behind against a short stick. He's drawing a double.
Looking for help, dodging onto the precipice of the crease. Ground ball drawn. Hawkinson harassed, quadruple teamed. Somehow gets out of the pack, at least initially. Hawkinson battling. How does he still have the ball? And now the whistles blow. Was it a timeout? Was it a penalty? Looks like Dennis Bond got a timeout.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what fight from Hawkinson, though. That was awesome.
We said in the opener, he is tough as heck. I mean, I think every guy on Southside got a hand on him.
Did he do something to the Cyclones players? It looked like everyone just wanted a turn going after him.
Yeah, it was like a ping pong in there. But he's a wrestler. He's a tough kid. And those face-off guys are used to that close contact.
Hawkinson, a 2-year captain. The quote from Dennis Bond, he was just saying that ever since he was a freshman, he's one of those kids, when he's 14, he's going to be a captain one day. People were just drawn to him. They played him in the Long Island Championship game that year, heading to Rutgers in a couple of seasons. I mean, just a crucial part of the fabric of this Cold Spring Harbor program. And what do you think of that fight we're seeing defensively from Southside? By and large, I've been impressed with how they played on that side of the ball.
Yeah, the Southside defense is good. We're talking a lot about the Cold Spring Harbor defense, and rightfully so, but the Southside defense is good. And, they're tough kids. They're digging in right now. They know this is going to probably be a low-scoring game. If they can keep it, close on their end and give their offense a shot, that's exactly how. You don't have to win every game, by scoring 15 goals. Sometimes you got to win these tough 5-4, 6-5 type of games. And right now it looks like we're headed in that direction. This is a good D. Hawkinson's a tough kid. This is fun.
Yeah, Steve DiPietro has said a couple of times that it's one of the great qualities of this defense is they just keep on playing, even in games where they've been down by a couple of goals. It doesn't really affect them. They play the same way that they played to open the game, and it's given their offense a chance to get hot late and either come back and win or get some games close.
Yeah. And that's really what you ask of your defense, right? Keep you in the game. You got a good face-off guy. You can go on runs on offense with a kid like Melkonian. And right now they came back out in zone, it looks like, which, again, I like coming out of a timeout, showing zone. I think Cold Spring Harbor is a little bit more organized this time around, so we'll see what they get out of it.
Riley will reset up top to Gerasi. Gerasi pushes it along to Spielberger. You're seeing that signature patience from Cold Spring Harbor. Jaraputo, Gerasi.
Yeah, Cold Spring Harbor now has 2 guys inside trying to flood the zone a little bit. Again, I like the look of it.
The Seahawks continue to take their time. Here's Bauer, the freshman. Jaraputo had that one killer shot from outside. Good positioning from Southside. Thinking about it was Jaraputo. Maybe that was a little bit of frustration forcing that shot.
Yeah, that's why you play zone. These guys want to shoot, and you're you're making them be patient. It's not always that easy. That's a great job by Southside's defense, and that's what we said. They needed it, and you don't want to do this. You don't want to be sloppy in the clearing game.
Pass too tall from Gentile. He can't pick up the ground ball. It's available for anyone, and a nice recovery on it by Gentile.
They're going to have to cheap this.
Erickson trying to not get the delay. Just launches it down the field, so it does end up being a turnover, but a far less costly one than it could have been. Caden O'Connor will restart the Cold Spring Harbor offense.
And that's frustrating for Southside. You know, you play great D, you get a stop. We talk about them jumping in the zone, and then, they fail to clear the ball, and they have to, cheap it down the field to avoid a violation, and Cold Spring Harbor comes right back at you. Nice play by Will on the long throw.
And it has to just be exhausting for your defense, right? I mean, to your point, emotionally, but also physically, just staying engaged and locked in and having to slide for that long.
Yeah, and Cold Spring Harbor also now gets the sub, so they had their second middies on, and now they can come back on with their first middies, and there's Hawkinson.
A little bit of a low pass. Riley did a good job to scoop it up, drawing a flag. So now Southside will do everything they can to start up the penalty. The Seahawks want to tack on a goal before that happens. Spielberger spinning, firing, shot deflected, and it'll be a man up for Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, tough spot. Looks like he got his stick just tangled with Riley, but we get a good look here at the Cold Spring Harbor man-up unit.
Cold Spring Harbor has not been particularly efficient on the year in these situations, just 7 for 24. That's 29%. We'll see what they can do here.
Yeah, I would look to see. Riley's the big shooter in this group. Hawkinson's another guy who can fire it from the outside. They're in a circle right now. They'll change their shape, and they'll probably try to get one of those guys a shot.
Rogers, their point leader on the field, also on the field, number 13, has been relatively quiet in the early going.
Yeah, you can't fall asleep on Rogers on the backside. He's got a shot.
This is an area of the game Cold Spring Harbor is trying to shape up as they head into the county playoffs. Presumably will reach the state playoffs again, seemingly are there every year when they're down in Class D.
Yeah, people forget they're a Class D school sometimes. That's a nice job.
Pass inside, turnaround shot off the mark for Riley.
I mean, that's what you want. You want to get Riley a shot. Nice pass by Hawkinson inside, just bounced it over.
Final 5 seconds of the penalty. Cold Spring Harbor will not rush it, and Southside will kill the man up.
That's a nice job by Southside. In this game with, low scoring like this, those little moments really matter.
Calabretta, who got that initial goal.
I think you see the Southside defense gaining some confidence here. And, Cold Spring Harbor's got to now figure out how they're going to get some offense going.
Spielberger looking in front. Pass nearly picked off that time. Now moves put on by Hawkinson. Trying to burrow his way inside. Southside holding strong. Brady West doing a nice job defensively. Now it's Ryan Castle tied up, and the shot goes down. Hawkinson stuck with it, and it paid off.
I mean, we just keep calling him tough. I mean, he's all tied up here. I thought we were going to get a holding penalty. He's down on the ground, and he just muscles through. I mean, he's just a tough kid. That's a great shot. I mean, an overhand bouncer with a guy draped all over you. He's strong, very strong for his size.
Yeah, it was a tough position for Ryan Castle, right? Because that stick got locked, and he doesn't want to commit a slash or any kind of penalty. Almost stuck in his spot, and Hawkinson could almost pick his shot. A big win, though, for Michael Melkonian.
Yep.
And Melkonian was trying to get a little handoff. He was harassed by Phelan, and now it's a loose ball again. Whistles come in, Southside ball.
Yeah. I was talking about Pisano being everywhere, and I think Phelan might have heard me. He came flying over to take that ball away from Melkonian. But that's a big win for Melkonian and this Southside team 3 goals feels like a lot right now. They got to get some offense going.
It does almost feel like, and I mean, I think this is the point you were making earlier, Tom, but an acclimation process going against this Cold Spring Harbor defense. That's a handoff that Michael Melkonian has probably been making all year without getting harassed, but they're almost like piranhas on Cold Spring Harbor. You can't take anything for granted.
It's a great point. He probably hands that off in every game without any pressure, and he got a ton of pressure.
And there's a little bit of aggressiveness from Brady West. Now some speed coming on for Billy Moore. You got to imagine there's some frustration for the Cyclones at this point, just not able to get those quality looks around the cage. And there's one, and the shot just slightly off the mark for West, but that was his best attempt of the day.
Yeah, that was good offense. I like the invert with Billy Moore, and he found Brady West. He had a good look at it, just rushed the shot a little bit, and Spencer Will out of the cage to back it up.
And it's an interesting balancing act all year for West, because one of his improvements this season has not been forcing the issue and has been taking what is there. But against this Cold Spring Harbor defense, they might need him to force the issue a couple times this game.
Yeah, at some point he's going to have to realize he's the alpha male on the field for Southside, and he's going to have to go.
Again, a unit with 3 new attackers still finding their bearings. C.J. Riley is trailed by Patrick Erickson. That's a great matchup in its own right. Erickson, an all-conference performer a year ago.
Yeah, Erickson does a nice job, and they got Riley at attack, so I'm interested to see that matchup right there.
Just 2 minutes until the half, a 3-goal lead. Cold Spring Harbor in no rush.
No, and this is the style they love to play at. Be very, very patient, find matchups. Maybe Hawkinson will get bounced around a little bit and make some offense happen.
Hawkinson, a pinball of a human being.
He loves. You see him lower his shoulder. He loves the contact.
A throwback kid in a lot of different respects. Ryan Spielberger off the mark.
Yeah, good shot by Spielberger. Good speed. Shoots it for the back pipe. So you miss, you back it up.
Cold Spring Harbor on the season 6-0 in games decided by 3 goals or less. It's a point of pride for Dennis Bond. He has tracked over the course of his 23 years at Cold Spring Harbor how many close games they've played, and that's sort of the DNA of the program. He said we want to be the team that wins those games year in and year out, and this team, there's just that extra level of toughness there regardless of who they're playing.
Yeah, you can see it. They're very composed. 1-0, 2-0. They're just going to play their game. They're going to follow the plan. When you win a lot of 1-goal games, it shows you're well coached.
Rapid fire ball movement now. Final minute shot in front of the net. Falling was Gerasi, and that ball was in the crease. Might have gotten kicked in. No goal.
Yeah, we had a push on Southside, so no goal, but Southside in the middle of that possession jumped into zone. It's worked so far. It's a good move by Southside. And they're going to stay in it. Less than a minute to go. And I think Cold Spring Harbor will probably hold and see if they can get a last shot.
Southside pivoted into the zone after that second goal. The only one they've given up since then was that amazing effort by Hawkinson. Jaraputo will reset. Thinking about it was Hawkinson. Riley working from X. Jaraputo again just has a laser at that spot. Riley ducking inside. Oh, that was a golden look, but he missed the cage.
Great move. Split the double team right there. Using his body. Now we're under 20. He's going to have to go. Look for a skip pass here, maybe to Hawkinson.
Riley just has that explosive step where he can separate. You see it when he's playing football, and you certainly see it when he's playing lacrosse. This reset up top. Hawkinson, that one hit the pole. Oh, man, what a shot, and that'll wrap up half number 1. A 3-0 lead for Cold Spring Harbor. A defensive affair so far, Tom Rudy.
Yeah, if you love defense, you're loving what you see right now. But the reality is the defense, they're great players. Pisano and Phelan on the one side. And Southside, let's give them a lot of credit. They've played a lot of defense. So as a team, they've played really well.
We'll see if the Cyclones can find their offense in half number 2, down by 3 heading into the break on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Gavin Shaw and St. Dominic head coach Tom Rooney here with you at Cold Spring Harbor High School. Second half about to get underway. The much-beloved Cold Spring Harbor Athletic Director Mike Bongino couldn't be here tonight, so we wish him well. Hope he's enjoying the game. And, Tom, I think you summed it up perfectly. If you like defense, you really like that first half.
Yeah, I'm impressed with both defenses. Obviously, Cold Spring Harbor defense has been really, really special here. You know, it's one thing to shut out a team. The Southside, offense has really talented kids there. We've watched them, and they know how to score goals. They're all good players, and Cold Spring Harbor right now is just playing at a different level defensively. But give Southside a lot of credit. Their defense really dug in. 3 goals is very manageable when you have a face-off guy like Melkonian. So, let's get going here in the second half.
This face-off feels crucial to start the second, and Melkonian able to outduel Hawkinson.
Yep, and here comes Pisano. They're going to have to touch this in.
ALO doing just that. And now Southside can get their offense out on the field.
If I'm Southside, I'm thinking about riding Brady West here in the second half. I know you want to attack short sticks a lot of times to get the offense started, but you may see them start to set more picks for Brady West. Try to get Pisano off of them.
And it's tough because a lot of times when Pisano's not out and Phelan will be, but I think, and Tom, you know this better than I would, lacrosse has become more and more like basketball where you can hunt out specific guys, have the defender you want come up and set a screen with that offensive player, get the matchup you want a little more directly than you would in the past.
Right. I think you're right, though. I think right now the Cold Spring Harbor guys all around, the D-middies, McGloin and Riley's in there playing D-middie, they're making it really, really hard for anybody to get offense started. I mean, they're out pressuring and tracking these guys. Southside's got to, they got to figure it out. West is popping off the crease now. At some point, he's going to have to go at Pisano.
Just not a lot of possessions where they've had a lot of coherency. We actually saw it more earlier in the game. Since then, they've struggled to find a rhythm. Here's West dodging through a couple defenders and putting it in. A Herculean effort from Brady West to get Southside on the board.
Yeah, I was kind of begging for a pick, and they got just enough of a pick, and it got a piece of Pisano here at the very top. And you see Pisano right here just kind of gets chipped, and Brady West is able to get underneath him, and then he changes hand and shovels it. That's unbelievable. That's an awesome shot.
You understand what Steve DiPietro is saying when he notes that Brady West, in his mind, just flat out one of the best players on the island. Statistically, there are other guys more impressive because of the attention that West gets, but you can count on maybe one or two hands the number of guys in Nassau County who can make that play.
Yeah, and now they're going to get the face-off again, and they're fired up. I like the way West went right at him. He's going to have to do it, and they're going to roll out the second middies here, but you're going to see a lot of Brady West the rest of the way.
It's an important note because there's certainly an intimidation factor with Pisano. Dennis Bond noting it this week. He said, honestly, I think guys hate it when he's guarding them, and Brady West that time taking on the challenge with good results. Now Mindel, and you got to imagine that gives a little bit of juice to everyone else on that Southside offense.
Oh, absolutely. You broke the seal.
And now Owen West diving to the cage, nearly getting a good look. Ball's up for grabs. Will, the athletic turnaround on the save and then clear. And Caden O'Connor, a burst the other way. Lobs the pass up. Big-time interception by Logan Kelly. Gentile will push the ball up the field. Sloppy pass. Takes a good bounce. Nearly scooped up by Owen West, and now it is. What a sequence.
Yeah, a little back and forth action. Cold Spring Harbor had numbers. They elected to try to skip a pass. Nice play by Southside knocking it down. And we got some life here with Southside.
You get the feeling that Steve DiPietro might have challenged his guys during the half and said, you guys really want to be shut out? And this is a prideful group offensively, and they're playing with a little more verve to start the second half.
Yeah, and that was a good take by Aiello. And I think that's exactly what happened. Gavin, these guys are starting to go right at Cold Spring Harbor, and I think that's the way to do it.
There's just an extra bit of juice. Billy Moore. He gets a little bit of a screen.
Up.
No flag as Moore was knocked to the ground by Riley.
Yeah, they're letting him play a little bit.
A yellow. Oh, that hit the back of the net. Looked like it was in for a second.
Yeah, nice move by Aiello. Just unfortunately outside. And here comes Pisano. We said he's like a short stick.
Look at that speed. It's saved by Gentile, but Pisano is a threat on both ends.
Yeah, that's a great save by Gentile. Nice ride back.
Oh, yeah, what a ride. The quote from Dennis Bond, if you don't ride, you will not play at Cold Spring Harbor. Nearly intercepted. Jaraputo instead catching, shuffling, trying to get it to Pisano. Pisano, maybe a little bit of retaliation from Southside as he takes a couple hard hits.
This is a little wild right now. This is, I tell you, Pisano, that's a great handle. He had 2 long poles on him.
And you see him talking to a coach, adjusting the elbow pads. We saw Hawkinson just get beat up late in that first half. Pisano got his turn with this bully ball Cyclones defense.
Yeah, 2 good teams, 2 physical teams. This is fun.
You could feel things hit a little bit of a lull late in that first half. Both teams seemed to slow down a little bit. Obviously, Cold Spring Harbor was able to add that late goal, but in the second half, it's been nothing but energy and physicality on both sides. And Southside, I think, setting the tone a little bit to start the second half.
Absolutely. That's a big goal by West, to get on the board. And now they got to, get in and get a stop. I tell you, it was a big stop by Gentile on Pisano. Not easy to track a long pole when he shoots. And now they got to get another stop right here.
Hawkinson from outside as he'll fire from deep. And another good stop from Gentile.
This is where Southside struggled a little bit. They got to clear this ball cleanly.
And a big issue, to your point, Tom, was that Cold Spring Harbor was able to bait them into having the long poles bring it up. That time, they're able to shuffle it over to Jack Lazito, and he does a really nice job on the clearance.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to do. Lazito with a punt return clear there, and they got their first middies coming back on. Meyerhofer, West, and DePietro, and you're only down 2. You've had some really good looks. You've changed the energy of this game. Let's see what they get here.
DePietro has great feet, showing it off there. Cut off on his angle to the cage by Ryan McGloin.
Here comes another pick, it looks like, for West.
West instead goes the other direction, sees the slide coming from McGloin, gives it up. DePietro trying to weave in and out of traffic. Phelan was tracking him the whole way. Now Owen West. DePietro thinking about it. DePietro a bouncer, and Will saw it the whole way.
Yeah, right idea. He got to the middle of the field. He was stumbling a little bit as he shot it, just didn't get a lot on it.
Spencer Will, they call him Swill, saving 64% of his shots this season.
Yeah, Will tracked that all the way. Does a nice job in the clear. And Cold Spring Harbor now rolling out their second middies, Gerasi, Bauer, and let's see. Did I miss somebody coming out of the box there? Oh, and they got Spielberger.
Calabretta and Jaraputo, along with Riley, the starters, still in. Again, Southside has spent a lot of time on defense in this game. You wonder when fatigue becomes an issue, but since they've switched to that zone, they've been even more solid. And now a throwaway, good interception from Erickson.
Yeah, that's good D at goal line extended. And again, now this is key to clear this ball the first time.
Well balanced, moving it around. Lazito has been money getting the ball up the field.
Yeah, I like him. He plays with a good motor. Good clear again. I think every time Southside gets a stop here, you could see, just the energy is coming back. They got the first one, and now they're going to flip it on Cold Spring Harbor a little bit. They're going to invert, and it looks like they're going to lock Brady West.
West trailed by Theo Torres, the Manhasset transfer, who had a nice game in that win over the Indians. Working from up top is Mindel, and knocked away by Will.
That's a nice take, and you could see, the first half they were struggling to get shots inside of 15 yards. That's another shot from about 8 yards, just happened to bounce it over, but they're much more aggressive.
Mindel going to work again versus the freshman Bauer. Maybe that's the matchup they'll look to go after. Owen West trying some physicality. Phelan not having it. A little stagnant now for Southside. Not quite that same energy that they came out with to start the half. Good move put on by Mindel. Mindel, that's a tough shot and a big-time stop by Will.
Yeah, Will is really good. From his knees, he outlets it.
Phelan a little long on the pass up the field. Erickson takes a hit. Loose ball up for grabs. A big one knocked out, and it goes to Southside. Jake Rogers was battling. The energy has picked up. Just 4 combined goals between these teams. An opportunity for Southside here.
Yeah, this is a big spot now. You got 2 minutes left in this third quarter. You've had some really good looks. You got to cash one of these in. You don't want to be trailing by 2 going into the fourth quarter if you can help it.
2 minutes to try and avoid that fate for Southside.
So they went to the invert last time, and they got a good look off it. They're doing it again here with Aiello on a short stick.
Aiello trying to spin center, will reset to DePietro. DePietro, quick move, deterred by Caden O'Connor. Circling is Jack Meyerhofer. Spinning and hit as he shot was West.
Yeah, the ball bounced through there and it found Brady West. That's a pretty good look right there. But much more movement for Southside here. They got Cold Spring Harbor spinning a little bit.
And here's West versus Phelan. West puts on a couple of moves again. Potentially a battle of 2 All-Americans, and the shot off the mark that time from Michael Aiello. Aiello is quite the sniper, hitting 44% of his shots this season, pretty easily the top mark on this team. He's not gotten a lot of quality opportunities today.
Yeah, they've played him well, but he's a kid. If he gets an opportunity, he's going to knock it down. They're back to the invert with DePietro behind.
Sam Bruno on him, bounce shot, stopped. Will has just been so consistent. Again, not necessarily the toughest diet of shots thanks to the defense in front of him, but not every high school goalie makes every savable save, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely, and now they got a fast break off the clear, and they're going to pull it out and get their guys on. Yeah, Will tracked that. Nice move by DePietro, but he dropped the head of his stick, and Will followed it all the way. And, listen, Southside's had some really good looks. Will's been up to the challenge.
Hawkinson goes wide to Calabretta. Calabretta scored in the opening 9 seconds, looking for another, thinking about the shot, holding for a while, will shoot late. And one final opportunity for Cold Spring Harbor, 3.7 seconds on the clock.
So you're going to get a quick feed to the crease here.
It's Jake Rogers. Rogers, the feed, diving to the cage, and the shot deterred, so that is it. Just 1 goal scored in the third quarter, a miraculous effort by Brady West. The Cyclones are within striking distance, but they'll have to do a lot of work, down by 2 against this stifling Cold Spring Harbor defense. That next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Back to it on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A look inside the Southside huddle led by Steve DiPietro in his 15th season as head coach. Has been part of the Southside program since 1998. Was a middle school coach initially, then an assistant under Joe Baccarella for 9 years. He won a state championship under Joe Baccarella in 2004. And then since taking over in 2008, he actually had his best team in that 2008 season. He noted that 2020 could have been the year for this group. They lost 17 seniors from that team, obviously due to COVID. Never got to play a game. Came back last season, gave Garden City all they could possibly handle in the county semifinals. A 6-5 loss there. And that was back with this younger team. But I think this season really tells you the kind of coach Steve DiPietro is. 28 sophomores, if I'm remembering correctly, on the roster, and yet they played the best, they've beaten the best, and they've given some of the other best a whole lot of trouble throughout the season.
Yeah, he's an excellent coach. He has an excellent staff, and you can see it out here tonight. They have played really hard. The defense is excellent, and Melconi is really good on the face, and you know they're not going anywhere. This is going to be a battle down to the end.
I don't know if we've talked enough about what a talent Michael Melconian is. Just a sophomore, had an injury last year, missed 75% of his freshman season. If not, he would have been a starter as a freshman. Has come on this year playing high school lacrosse really for the first time. His first full season has won 73% of his faceoffs as that ball is thrown away by Meyerhofer. A little bit of a miscommunication between him and Owen West.
What I think you saw there was the Pisano factor. He started closing in, and Phelan was the push out on the backside. And, Southside got a little nervous, I think, with Pisano closing down.
It's almost like Jaws. You can hear the music every time he gets close to the ball. And there's a nice interception on the other end of things by Logan Kelly.
Yeah, these Southside kids are playing really hard.
Again, Cold Spring Harbor, a Conference C-D title on the line doesn't mean anything in terms of playoff seedings, but in terms of bragging rights, it's pretty nice when you can say, hey, we're the smallest school in here, and we won the whole thing.
Yeah, Coach Bond said, the conference title is the first trophy you can get, and that's why it's important, and that's what you want to go after. And, they know they probably have, bigger aspirations, bigger goals, but it starts with the conference title, and, Southside is a big obstacle, so this is fun. This is really fun.
That win over Manhasset, the defining game. And Manhasset, as we noted, not that this counts for conference standings, having their struggle with Chaminade tonight is another great possession for Southside. Gets broken up as Aiello couldn't handle that pass from DiPietro.
Yeah, I like the way they moved it on offense. Just unfortunately, pass was a little offline. Aiello couldn't handle it, and Cold Spring Harbor now with possession, bringing out their first middies. Spielberger and Hawkinson coming out of the box now.
One of the great qualities of this Seahawks team all years is they've done such a good job holding on to leads. Part of it is that defense, but it's that word we used in the first half, Tom. Their composure offensively, nothing is rushed. And we saw, certainly against Manhasset, they got up big. The Indians fought their way back into that game, and there was no panic. There was no, we got to get a goal and answer back. It was more so the clock is in our favor. Let's just hunt for the best shot. They did that over and over and over again and got a couple of big upsets because of it.
Yeah, you can see they're very comfortable. whatever the score is, 1 goal, 2 goal, all night here, they've been comfortable.
Spielberger tripped out of play, so it'll remain Cold Spring Harbor ball. And there's just so much balance for the Seahawks team. We noted Jake Rogers was the hero certainly against Garden City. 7 points, 3 goals, 4 assists in that game. Had 3 goals against Manhasset, but they can survive. I don't even know if you call it an off night because he barely touched the ball, but they don't need one guy to win the game for them night in and night out. Hawkinson puts on a couple moves, lob pass inside, knocked away as he was looking for Jaraputo.
Yeah, nice job by the Southside guys. Sticks in passing lanes. And this is an area, that they got to make sure they clean up a little bit this clear.
Doing their best here, coming on to catch the passes, Brady West. Always reliable, powering his way up the field. West charging towards Pisano. Won't challenge him this time around as he'll reset up top.
Yeah, nice clear by Brady West. You see how big and strong he is, running right through the stick there. And you get the feeling, the way this clock has been ticking all night, this game's moving along, that every possession now is big for Southside.
Just over 8 minutes to go in this final quarter. Again, the Southside defense has played about as well as you can against this Cold Spring Harbor team. After giving up a goal in the first 9 seconds, they've allowed 2 in the ensuing. I'm not going to do the math, but over 30 minutes. And a run out here trying to save this possession as DiPietro cannot. And Cold Spring Harbor will break the other way. Theo Torres doing his job, handing it off and running off.
So nice job by Torres. Southside, unfortunately, ball got away. Now they got to dig in again. You got to get stops here.
And that's the third turnover we've seen from Southside, relatively unforced, all 3 of them in this fourth quarter.
There's not a lot of games where the first team to 4 feels like it's going to win the game, but this game feels that way right now. If Cold Spring Harbor gets a 4th goal right here, it's going to feel like a really big, mountain for Southside to climb the way they've struggled on offense so far.
Again, the only goal in the game was in the opening minutes of the second half for Southside. Brady West, just an amazing effort, but outside of that, this Cold Spring Harbor defense has been relatively unbreakable.
I think you're going to see Cold Spring Harbor be very patient here. They're normally patient, but I don't think there'll be any rush on their side.
And that was the only times they got in trouble in the first half is when they rushed things. Outside of that, could pretty much hold on to the ball. Bauer.
Yeah, Hawkinson on a short stick. It's a good matchup.
Doing a good job, though, that time in terms of deterrence was Dan Capitelli. Lob pass inside, bouncer up and in. Second goal for Jaraputo, and it's a big one. A 3-goal lead with 6 to go for Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, I mean, that's great offense. It looked like Bauer on the dodge, and Jaraputo just finds a little soft spot. His guy slides. He slides into the open area there. Bauer finds him, and a great bounce shot. A bounce shot from there from 8-9 yards. Gentile has no shot, right into the top corner. And we said, first team to 4 with 6 minutes to go, the way this game is gone, Southside really needs Melkonian right now.
You could see it on that replay, just the sense of spacing from Jaraputo. Backed up, wasn't even looking. Melkonian, quick win, tried the fast pass to Owen West. Ball scrambling wide. Can the Cyclones save it in? Knocked back, trying to run it down, needing possession are the Cyclones. Cannot do it. They knock away the pass, and now Southside has it back. And a quick timeout taken by Steve DiPietro. His young team down by 3 goals, looking to pull off something miraculous with 5:48 to go on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Final 6 minutes here from Cold Spring Harbor. Remember, this is not the only game on tonight. That Shoreham-Wading River Mount Sinai had matchup, the game of the year in Suffolk County. Mount Sinai winning that battle of undefeateds. And then, of course, Manhasset Chaminade going on as we speak. Manhasset mounting a little bit of a comeback, an 11-6 game. So when this one wraps up, you can shoot over and check that out. And then, of course, coming up later in the week, a classic rivalry, Massapequa against Syosset. Syosset a little bit down this year, but that's those rivalry games, they always get tricky. And then Chaminade, St. Anthony's, two of the best teams on Long Island, two of the best teams in the country to wrap up your week.
Yeah, two great games coming up, and I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and watch the Mount Sinai, Shoreham-Wading River on demand. All those games after they're finished are on demand. And that's one, I missed it. I had a game today. A lot of lacrosse fans around, that's kind of what we do, right? If you miss a game, you go to Varsity Media on Demand and you find it.
Fantastic matchup as Mount Sinai looks to continue their dream undefeated season. Shoreham-Wading River had a couple of close calls. They finally got Manhasset. That's a really big one, as well as the Indians have lost 3 close games in the last week or so, one to this Cold Spring Harbor side, so they're looking to regain some momentum. Speaking of which, Southside, the possession of the game for them, needing a goal, down by 3, a big-time shot knocked away, and a good scoop by DePietro to give the Cyclones a second chance.
Yeah, Southside came out. They ran a nice set. They got a good look. Unfortunately, it hit a Cold Spring Harbor player, but they understand where this game is right now.
Aiello on the bouncer, 4-2. The most accurate shooter on this Southside team puts one home.
Yeah, sometimes off those scrambles you lose your matchup, and Aiello got a short stick. Obviously you don't want a short stick on the lefty attackman, and he rolls and he shoots right off the roll. That's a really nice shot by Aiello.
Just got under the stick of Spencer Will, who's typically so good on those bounce shots. Just great placement by Aiello. And another crucial face-off. Melkonian battling, and he'll win it. Melkonian has just been money in this second half.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of face-offs, but Melkonian's done a nice job. And, this is where we talked about it earlier. Cold Spring Harbor, they don't play a ton of guys, back-to-back defensive sets. I don't know if we've seen this too much, with the lack of goals. So, let's see if Southside can get downhill at him again, maybe get him a little tired and, get this game a little bit closer.
Mindel working Hawkinson. Circling is DePietro, looking to fire. DePietro has been a little overambitious at points in this game, but is one of the better creators for the Southside team.
Yeah, he's got nice shake, gives him a little, head and shoulder fake, and gets the offense going. You're right, couple tough shots, but they're going to need somebody to get this going.
Mindel, Hawkinson just sticking right on him. DePietro. Quick burst will reset to Aiello. Now the shot from way outside from West, saved by Will.
That was actually great offense. They popped off the crease and one moored it to West. I mean, if you're Southside, that's exactly what you want.
Pass quickly up the field to Pisano. Pisano tracked by Schwarzberg. Knocked out of play, and Southside will get it back. Brady West getting it done defensively.
Yeah, Schwartzberg jumped Pisano. Pisano's so confident with the ball, but, that time Schwartzberg challenged him, and that's a big-time play. Coming up on 3 minutes, getting the ball back, that's a huge play by Schwartzberg.
They absolutely needed it. Again, no goals for Southside in the first half, just one in the third quarter, now one in this fourth. It's a tall task to score 2 in 3 minutes, but it feels like they found a little more rhythm offensively these last couple of possessions.
Yeah, this is a spot in the game right now where Brady West has got to find a way to get his hands free
instead it's DePietro. That was a good look. And Ryan Meyerhofer in good position to ensure continued possession for the Cyclones.
Yeah, that was you're right. That was a really good shot, just off the pipe. Good placement. They're going to run a little out of bounds play, it looks like here. Tough to run with Phelan.
Brady West gives it up quickly. Moore in and out. Now the shot. Oh, a decent look for Moore. Owen West will keep the ball with Southside, but time ticking down. 2.5 minutes to go now.
Yeah, you know, it's a big possession here, and you could tell Cold Spring Harbor's got Hawkinson and Riley as their 2D middies. You get a stop here. This could be trouble. Pisano again.
Yeah, nearly knocking it away from Brady West. Brady West putting on the speed. Pisano, a check. West back up top. He doesn't want any more. More off the mark.
Great skip by West, you know, and good look by Moore. And here we go. Here's the battle of the impact players. 2 minutes to go in the game. This is fun.
When it's all said and done, potentially All-American on All-American. Loyola against Yale, and missing the pass that time was Moore. Knocked out. Cold Spring Harbor had it for a second. Aiello in a pack, and the Seahawks come out of it. Dennis Bond will take time, and a big stop for Cold Spring Harbor.
Yeah, huge ground ball by Riley. You know, it's funny, when I spoke to Dennis today, one of the things he talked about was we're kind of vanilla. You know, we don't do a lot of fancy stuff. He said we ride hard, we pick up ground balls, and we try to pass and catch cleanly. And you know, maybe one of the bigger plays in the game right there is a ground ball by Riley to give him possession with under 2 minutes.
They're just physically so tough defensively, and obviously they know their positioning. They're very quick, but you can almost feel the toll it's taken on Southside over the game. And I think we were talking during halftime, Tom, and you said this, you know, Southside hasn't gotten a shot within 12 feet the whole game. They literally just keep you away from the cage.
You saw that defense right there by Pisano. I mean, it looked like West had a step, and you know, he got his hands on West, Pisano, and he shoved him below goal line extended. You know, this is as good of a defensive team as I've seen, you know, especially with Hawkinson and Riley as the 2D middies. You know, Spencer Will seeing the ball the way he is, really, really impressed. But now you got to clear the ball in a tough spot. If you look on the field, you know, the ball's going to be right above the box. And Southside, I imagine, is going to come out, you know, probably in some sort of 10-man ride here to try to get the ball back.
And do you see Southside maybe breaking that zone they played defensively, extending a little bit out with under 2 minutes to go?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to, you know, they can't be patient anymore. They've allowed, you know, Cold Spring Harbor to kind of throw the ball around. They're going to have to press out. They're going to push out, probably find the matchup that they want. But it starts with the clear here. They're going to ride this really hard. I'm interested to see if Gentile will stay in the goal or he'll be out right away.
And we'll see where Cold Spring Harbor goes with it. Will, in other games this year, a little more ambitious about pushing the ball far up the field. You figure in this situation would be a little bit more conservative. We'll start with Pisano, who has been so confident in these situations all game long.
So they elected not to 10-man ride, but they're going to get a clear here. Nice job by Phelan.
You know, they sent a late double his direction. Phelan calmly worked it up to Alex Bauer. You see the trust from Dennis Bond in the freshman, having him out there in this crucial moment. He was out there at the end of the game against Manhasset and Garden City. He's triple-teamed, and Bauer able to escape the trap.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Bauer. Great job by Cold Spring Harbor on the clear. Phelan really calm, and now here comes the Southside pressure.
C.J. Riley being tracked by Erickson. Riley, such a physical force, about 6'4", right around 200 pounds. It's hard to rattle him.
Yeah, and you see something interesting right now is
he's doubled here, loses the ball, scramble for it, a scoop from the Seahawks, a sea of red surrounding Owen West, and Dennis Bond will get another timeout.
Well, they're out of timeouts, so Southside, in a way, has done their job. They're going to have, you know, with a minute to go now, they'll come out and pressure out again. You know, you're going to have to take some chances here, whether it's a double team or at that point it was a triple team. You know, you're going to push out and hope for a turnover and push the ball the other way.
And it was a big ground ball win in that pile for Riley with, I mean, just about everyone on Southside going after it. So 63 seconds to go, a 2-goal lead for Cold Spring Harbor. We'll see if the Seahawks can run out the clock next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
64 seconds to go. Cold Spring Harbor ball. The Seahawks are now out of timeout, and we've seen Southside. Man, they've put together a great game defensively, and they've had a couple of those possessions where they've had those double teams, those triple teams. Cold Spring Harbor, by and large, Tom, able to escape out of those packs, but we're going to see Southside get even more aggressive now in terms of attacking the ball.
Yeah, I mean, this is that point. Gentile's going to have to come out of the cage. You put your two best poles on the ball. Tough spot to have the ball enter down there in the bottom corner. You got the sideline and the end line, so it's a great spot to double. Gentile is out playing an attackman, and they're going to get after him right now. Riley with the ball.
Riley about the number one guy if you're Dennis Bond you want on the ball in this situation. So strong, so confident, so disciplined as he weaves in and out of double teams. Now goes cross field. We'll get it to Hawkinson. Hawkinson, extremely tough in his own right. He sees a double. Chased by Gentile. Hawkinson. A bouncer across field, nearly picked off by Gentile. Lob. Hawkinson trying to run it down, able to knock it back. Southside will come up with the ball. In traffic, it's Schwartzberg. Just 30 seconds left, or under 30, I should say.
Yeah, they got to move fast here.
Not quite enough urgency. Lazito on the clearance. Up the field, knocked away. Will skim out of bounds with 10 seconds to go.
And that was Pisano. Kind of fitting that Pisano was there at the end, deflecting the last pass.
Phelan will walk it. And that'll do it. A win for Cold Spring Harbor. Hard fought, but the Seahawks are your Conference CD champions.
What a great game. I mean, normally you'd like to see more, offense, but the reality is we saw great defense, and Cold Spring Harbor finds a way to win by scoring 4 goals. Just doesn't happen that often.
That combination of Pisano and Phelan just setting the tone from the beginning of the game, but it really is the entirety of the Cold Spring Harbor defense. We noted Caden O'Connor, Kyle O'Grady, fantastic efforts as well. Spencer Will in goal. It's a full unit. And then on the other side, how about the toughness of this Southside team? We saw Cold Spring Harbor. I mean, they beat Garden City. They beat Manhasset. They've proven themselves at a level where you're a great team if you stay in a ball game with them, and Southside, at least from a physicality perspective, gave them everything they could handle.
Absolutely. Really impressed with the Southside defense. And, it's hard to judge the Southside offense on a night like tonight. Let's be honest. The Cold Spring Harbor defense is so good, those Southside guys are probably going to be better for it heading into the playoffs, having this experience. They won't see Cold Spring Harbor as they go into the Class D playoffs. So, Southside should keep their heads high. They played really hard. The defense played excellent. They have a great goalie themselves. So, good tough game. Both teams can walk away and feel better about themselves.
So we'll take a break on the Varsity Media Sports Network. When we come back, it's the Whitmore Group RP3 Player of the Game.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
If you're
Back at Cold Spring Harbor, wrapping up a 4-2 win for the Seahawks over the Cyclones with our Whitmore Group RP3 player of the game. And Tom, who else could it be but Patrick Pisano?
Yeah, Pisano is excellent. I mean, he tipped this game, especially early. You felt like he was everywhere. He had to go out and guard Brady West, a D1 midi who's a really, really good player in his own right, and Pisano was up to the task. I'm sure Rob Pinnell is not thrilled that we're giving it to a defensive guy, but Pisano was the best player on the field tonight.
I think it's telling that the play of the game was Brady West just maneuvering his way through Pisano and two other defenders. Just the lengths he had to go to score a goal in this one were kind of nuts.
Right. I mean, they had to set a pick on Pisano, and then he had to get under Pisano and score a highlight reel goal just to get his hands free. Pisano was great, and his running mate Phelan was great. The whole defense was great, but I can't. Pisano's tremendous. I mean, he's really one of the best defensemen I've seen in a long, long time. About as college-ready a defenseman as you can possibly see in high school.
The All-American, the defending Nassau County Defensive Player of the Year, a Yale commit, a 4-star on Inside Lacrosse, as good as a player as I've ever coached, according to Dennis Bond. The Cold Spring Harbor Seahawks are your conference CD champions. The Southside Cyclones at 8-5 can hang their heads high. Still everything ahead of them in terms of their playoff aspirations. But for Tom Rooney and our entire crew, I'm Gavin Shaw signing off at Cold Spring Harbor High School.